Matt Rosen is with us now here on It Takes Two with Amy and JJ. He is a technology and artificial intelligence expert, and you can find them at allata.com. That's ALLATA.com. Matt, welcome to KFGO Radio in Fargo, North Dakota.
Hey, thanks for having me on this afternoon.
We appreciate it. So this all started with this drunk robot vacuum story. What's going on with the drunk robot vacuums?
Yeah, so apparently a number of versions of the iRobot Roomba have been acting drunk. It's been all over Reddit, all over the news, where the robot basically forgets its floor plan. It can't find its way back home. It bumps into walls. It can't find its power dock, and users are having to go and reset it. You know, the company hadn't actually released a public statement on it yet. Interestingly, my robot is not drunk. I guess it doesn't drink, so my robot's been working fine. So this appears to be happening with a number of other users' robots across the world, actually.
Yeah, someone texted into our show and said, our Roomba can't find her dock, as they, I guess that everyone names their robot vacuum. Dot just keeps cleaning until I pick her up and set her in front of the docking station.
Yeah.
This person wants to know suggestions. So this really won't be fixed until they get the new update, right?
Yeah, until they get a new update out. And so, you know, everyone's got this new smart technology in their home, and unfortunately, it's really not that smart. It just happens to be connected to the internet and is branded as smart. And so, unfortunately, for a lot of people that have these robots, they're just going to have to wait for the update. Or I have seen some things out there where if you do a complete reset of everything and reinstall it, it does start working again. It's just unfortunate. You know, my company's been building software for over 20 years, and, you know, we make sure we build and test before we put anything in production. But this thing seemed to have just slipped out and really messed up a lot of people's robots out there.
Yeah.
So a lot of people out there who rely on their Roomba just have to sit and wait. And I understand that can be very frustrating to a lot of people. But let me ask you this, Matt. Do Roombas automatically update themselves, or is this an update that an owner pushed to the robot vacuum itself?
That's a great question. You can set it to auto update. In fact, most of the times, you know, we recommend to people that you keep things on auto update because they're generally pushing patches that are good. But you can have it both ways. You can set it to auto update yourself, or you can wait for downloads. But, you know, most updates have generally been tested and worked through and don't cause issues. But in this case, it just didn't work out that way.
How much is your home run by robots, Matt?
Quite a bit. You know, I actually, looked at my Google Mesh network to see how many devices I've connected. I have over 50 in my house between all the iPads and computers, but we've got the Nest doorbell, we've got cameras, we've got Sonos speakers. And so one of the things I've done is I created a guest network for all my connected devices that's different than my actual computers because I want to keep those two separated. So that's one of the things I recommend to folks that are putting smart home automation in is to use a guest network. Don't give all those devices access to all your contacts and Facebook and everything else. And then also make sure you change the password. You know, it's crazy how many people still use password or welcome123, and it's just kind of nuts. So those are some things I recommend to folks that are putting some of this automation into their home.
Matt, I have had a Roomba now for almost a decade, as well as a lot of other home appliances like that. I have never thought about starting another network for them.
Yeah.
That is so smart.
That is so smart.
Yeah, you think about it. If somebody gets on your network, you don't want them to go from your Roomba to your PC. And it's real easy just to set up a secondary network with its own password to put all the devices on, and for when you have people over as guests.
Right. Oh, my gosh,
I
that's
love that.
Brilliant. We're both sitting here like, why has no one ever said that to us before?
Matt, what's the thing that you find gives you the most convenience when it comes to AI in the home or robots? What's the item that you think you rely on the most at this point?
I'd say it's probably my Amazon Alexa. You know, just being able to for it to remind me that I need toothpaste, or do I need to order dog food, or do I want to hear my favorite music? It really is convenient. I've set some things up so I have things just auto ordered and auto shipped. Some days I don't know what I'd do without the reminders. I'd run out of things all the time. And so that's one of the robots that's entered all of our daily lives, whether you have a Google Home or an Amazon Alexa, really reminding you about your schedule, but also helping remind you to order things maybe for a loved one's birthday, or, just remembering to order some more toothpaste or toilet paper.
Yeah, do you remember when Amazon was really pushing those buttons? And it would be it was like a button that was connected to Wi-Fi, and you'd keep it near your like Tide, and if you ran out of Tide, you hit the button and it would automatically order it from Amazon for you. Do you remember those buttons, Matt?
I absolutely do, and they've gotten a lot better now. If you have the little voice-activated commands, it'll actually remind you when you're running low. It'll see that the last time you ordered, and those are little robots that work within the Amazon network, helping to figure out when you might when you're in the need for a refill.
Oh,
so
see,
it's really
I love
amazing
that.
how it's progressed.
I'm also a big fan when it comes to the things that we expected from the future, like 20 years ago, when we were all thinking, like, what's 2021 going to look like? And the things that they made good on, the scientists and the engineers and the networkers out there. Although I will say this, the one thing that I still would like to get in my house that is not there yet is the robot pet. I know we've come a long way, and I've seen some of the robot dogs, but I would love to get a robot like bird in my house that I don't have to clean up. No newspaper at the bottom of the cage. But I just feel like that would be so cool to have a robot bird in the house.
It could chirp for you or sing for you, whatever you wanted.
Yeah, right?
Could you make that happen for him, Matt?
Yeah, is that something someone's working on yet? If not, they should be.
We haven't developed a robot bird yet, but we'll put it on the backlog of things for him to work on.
Getting back to these drunk Roombas as well, someone in our text club says, my Roomba Jennifer is the hardest working appliance. If she wants to day drink once in a while, who's to judge? You said one of the ways that people could fix this would be to do like a full reset, like a factory reset. Is that difficult to do if you found like a video online?
It's not too hard to do. And if you go out to their website or you go online, you can find people that have done videos to really reset. It is a little bit of a pain because the robot has to relearn its steps, but there is a way to fix it. It just takes a little bit of time and effort, and that's really goes for a lot of these smart devices. The car was scary when it replaced the horse and buggy. Some of these smart devices, for those that may not have as much comfort with the technology, these things can be difficult to approach, but there's a lot of great resources out there online. I have to solve a lot of these problems myself, even though I'm a technical engineering type. A lot of times I just go out and Google things and look on YouTube, and you can usually find answers to a lot of the problems that you may run into with a lot of these common home devices. There's really a lot more information and resources out there than there's ever been in the past.
Allata.com is how you can find Matt Rosen and his team. He's a technology and artificial intelligence expert and the CEO and founder of Allata, a technology consulting firm that help automate companies, right? And create some cool online experiences.
I help customers really improve the digital experience for their customers and help them improve internal productivity. And I really appreciate y'all having me on the show today.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, and another question here. Someone texted in and wants to know how you set up another network. You would just buy a secondary router, right? You
can usually do it within the router itself.
Oh, okay.
Usually, a lot of the newer routers will allow you to set up a secondary network within them. Sometimes you may need to do like a Google Mesh is what I've got in my home.
All right.
So it just kind of depends what equipment you have.
Sounds good. Matt, thanks for your time. We appreciate it. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.